Welcome, folks. Jaron Peoples, Keith Whitman here at Troup High School. We are having some internet issues, so working on getting things going here.
But despite that, we got to hit up the middle already. A lot of action going to start things off, Jaron, with Grant Adcock with a base hit to lead things off for the Tatum Eagles.
So Adcock with a single.
And that's going to bring up Cooper Whitus, number 21. He is the shortstop for the Eagles. And this is going to be my first baseball game of the season, Jaron.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you're here. Like I said, I'm trying to get some. We had to switch our link up, so I'm working on that.
Got a tractor going behind us. Here's the pitch from Graves. It's going to be in there for a strike on the outside corner to Whitus.
So who's that starting pitcher for the?
It's Caden Graves is the starting pitcher for the Troup Tigers. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a hit. Foul ball. Little dinkler down the left field line. Cash Hardy tried to make a move on it, but when he goes into the toward the dugout, I don't think he can make a play. 2 balls, no strikes to Cooper Whitus. Runner on first base here to start off the game. Sorry about the wind. We are outside, of course. Here's the pitch. Runner tries to go, and they get him back real quick as Joshua Childress fakes the throw to first. And that's going to be a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Whitus. Kind of an overcast sky here. We hope the rain holds off. Throw to first by Graves. Not in time. No outs. 1 and 2 the count. Graves checks first. And here's the pitch. Going to be high. Good job by Childress to keep that from going out to the backstop and keep Adcock on first. Two and 2 the count. When coming in from the south. Here's the pitch, another high inside, and a throw by Childress down to first base. Excuse me. A good stop by Lockie. There's a little off center there. Full count now as Whitus started off. No balls and 2 strikes on this one, and now gets 3 straight balls and goes to a full count, Jaron. And a tip ball and out goes Whitus, and he'll take the long walk back to the dugout. 1 down for the Eagles. Jackson Prince next up.
Prince starting behind the plate tonight for the Eagles.
Adcock just a little lead off first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Prince. Strike 1. Graves taking a little stroll behind the mound. Stretching his arm a little bit. Shoulder looks like it might bother him. I'm not sure. And now we're ready to play. Got a good crowd out here.
Tatum always travels well.
Yeah.
They always bring a good crew.
Here's the pitch. High fly ball, going to be foul over the fence in left field. James Pierce runs to the fence, but that ball is about 10, 15 yards way foul. And it's going to be no balls, 2 strikes to Jackson Prince. 1 out, 1 on, 2 strikes to the catcher. Runner tries to go, and that's in there for a strike, and another strikeout for Graves. That's 2 in a row. Now the cleanup batter, Tristan Berry, number 12, steps up. He's on the mound for the Eagles tonight. And he's rather a kind of a tall guy there, Jaron. Big man there on the plate.
Tristan Berry, he's a sophomore.
Good Lord. He hadn't hit a growth spurt yet. Here's the pitch by Graves. That's going to go over the plate. Good pitch. Got a good break on the outside corner there. And that's going to be strike one.
So Berry at the plate. Getting the start on the mound for the Eagles tonight, so we'll see him in just a little bit.
That's going to be inside off the glove of Childress, and that'll put Adcock over to second. And 1-1 the count.
Thanks for carrying me there, Keith. I'm trying to. We had to switch our link up, so I'm trying to get it out to.
No problem.
That's different folks.
That's what we do here on NETSN. We back each other up as best we can. And that's going to be a time called by Berry. Graves was checking second before he threw the ball home. So we didn't catch that, but Berry called it in time. So still 1-1. Two outs, one on. Second, here's the pitch by Graves. That's going to bounce and get past Childress. And once again, Adcock's going to advance to the next base. And he's right down the road from home plate. Base hit will score a run for the Eagles. So Berry's hoping to get that. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner in scoring position at third base. Graves looks in, checks the runner, pitches, and fought that one back there. Jaron Tristan was catching that one on the inside of the bat there.
Jammed him up. Have you seen all the craze in the MLB now? The torpedo bat.
Yes, I watched that. They were upset about the Yankees because the Yankees went yard every time they went up to plate.
I think what? I forgot 15 home runs in the first 3 games.
A little upset. 2-2 the count. And he called time again.
Yeah, he'll do that a lot. If the pitcher's not working fast enough, because Berry on the mound, he works real fast.
Yeah.
So if the pitcher's not working fast enough, he'll call time and reset.
And it's going to be high. Sorry. I don't mean to keep
No, you're
talking.
good. No, you keep doing it while I'm making sure I accidentally ended our last link, so I'm having to get our new link out.
Playing catch up here.
Yeah.
Full count to Berry. Hoping to get something out of this inning. Here's the pitch, and he's going to hit that one straight to Cash. And Cash Hardy bounces that ball off his glove and misses a great opportunity to get out of the inning. And Adcock just trots home with a run scored by the Eagles on the board, Jaron.
So, yeah, that E5 will put a run across the board. Again, it was a hard shot and almost self-defense there for Cash. And, again, bounced out. And so that's going to bring up Cody Hines, Jr., second baseman. A lefty. Bats left, at least.
And that ball hit right. I think it hit it right in the palm. And as a former player, I know that does not tickle.
That doesn't feel good.
But you're right, number 22, Hines, is a lefty, and you got to look out in right field. And he's going to stick in the position that he's in with a man on first. That's a good pitch on the inside, but doesn't catch the plate, says the umpire.
Well, and Cody's pretty good at he'll go oppo and really he'll push into that gap you see pretty well. He's a real sophisticated guy at the plate and can do a good job. He turns that one right around the first base line, so they'll tag him out. And so that will be it for the top of the first inning. But we'll be back here on NETSN for the bottom of inning number 1. Welcome back, folks.
And, of course, they turned the
Oh, yeah, they turned the music on.
right when we do it.
So
Like to
Tristan
jam it
Berry
up
on the
here.
mound for the Eagles. I don't have the updated stats. I didn't grab those today, but before last game, I think he had a sub-1 ERA. Really just has done a great job on the mound.
Well, he looks like I haven't watched them, and you have a little bit more experience with the Eagles than I do, but I've done a lot of baseball and watched a lot of baseball. He's got the long legs of a pitcher, and he looks like he'd be formidable for that good fastball. And I think Hayden Hummel's going to be first up for the Tigers.
Number 2, Hayden Hummel.
Hummel, a right-handed batter. Remember him from, obviously this is my 3rd season calling Tatum baseball, so I get to know some of these other teams as well.
Yep.
He hits a shot into center field. Adcock goes, makes a sliding catch.
That was a beautiful slide by Adcock, and it actually was that was a weird backwards kind of, his feet went backwards, but
yeah,
it wasn't a forward slide. It was a sideways, but a good slide. And
effective nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
12, Cash Hardy.
So Cash Hardy will step up to the plate.
Not a bad way to start the.
Pretty efficient, huh?
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Pitch misses outside.
Looked like Barry tried to put a little something on that, and it just didn't take. Here's the pitch by Barry. That had a little something, and it's going to go to the left field. Going to split the 2 in left center.
It'll hit the gap. And so that'll be a double for Cash Hardy.
That's a stand-up double all the way to the wall.
Now batting your pitcher, number 8, Caden Graves.
So coming off the 1 pitch, 1 out first batter, now they got to stand up double and put a man in scoring position, Jaron.
So they got one knocking on the door there.
Now the pitcher's up to bat. And it looks like the coach is trying to get a little something going there, talking to his players.
So 1 out here, a man on second base for Troup.
And wind's picking up every once in a while. Again, Jaron, correct me if I'm wrong, it just looks like Barry's trying to, early on, get a little English on his pitches, and it's just not catching. He's not getting the right rotation on it yet.
Yeah. Now, I will say, too, this mound is a lot lower.
There's not enough rise in
typically. And then the mound, I know Friday, the mound at West Rusk was really high.
Yeah. That one had
pitch.
something.
Yeah. Now, he didn't pitch Friday, but still.
Yeah.
And so, and he does a real good job of really trying to hit those outside and inside spots. So he's probably just trying to locate, right?
Well, the pitch before this one, and the reason I say that is I saw a different rotation. I saw it looks like he was trying to put a little bit of a little spin on it. And he's done that twice, and it's dropped at the same time.
Off-speed pitch, hits, good little stop there behind, comes up, scoops it up, without the glove, makes the throw.
That was a beautiful play, and it could have been dangerous, but he does a good job to not worry about the glove.
Now batting your right fielder, number 5, Carson Davenport.
And didn't really pay attention to that runner going to third, as now you have 2 outs.
Now, of course, especially when you have one where it bobbles a little bit, he made the right play. His momentum was going towards first, so he got that out there, right? But the runner does advance. But you got 2 outs.
Right. And there was a little bit better. He wanted to call that one. I watched it. That umpire was just wanting it, but it was just a bit outside. That one was the dropper there. He tried to get a little
Trying to give him a
curveball.
chase on that. Good job by Prince. He's doing a good job at scooting over
Oh, yeah.
and keeping the ball in front of him.
He doesn't want to advance it with a passed ball. 2-0 the count. And
Barry steps off.
so not only does he call time at the plate, he calls time on the mound.
But he works quick, so he's really controlling the pace, whether he's on the bump or in the box.
Right.
Here comes a pitch.
That was a beautiful slider on the outside and I thought he caught it. Of course, again, from our angle, but that looked like it caught the outside corner. But apparently we don't get paid to be the umpires.
We're not wearing the gear, are we?
3-0 the count. Wow. And that one was outside. I give him that one, but that's going to walk a player.
So put guys on the corners there.
Now coming to plate, your first baseman, number 15, Logan Lucky.
And it looked like Barry was trying to keep that a little bit away from Davenport. He threw a lot of outside. He didn't really bring it in on him in on him at all. So Barry checks the runner at first. Throws over and not in time as Davenport gets back.
Barry's got a real quick pickoff move.
Yeah, that was
So
pretty.
He'll
I don't think Davenport's going to get as far away this time as he just did. Good pop, but just about chin high. And doing a little trickery, a little trickeration there.
chat with us there. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and wait a few minutes. I'll let you chat. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Good cut, but just underneath it. That was a good pitch. That was right where you wanted there.
Yeah.
On that chest high. Right around the numbers. Here's the pitch. And another beautiful, beautiful pitch by Barry. And yeah, go ahead and chat with us. We'd love to hear from people. We like to see where everybody's watching from. Barry with the pitch. And he puts that a little low on the outside. Just missed. That's going to put the count 1-2. 2 outs, 2 on the corner. Excuse me, 2-2. 2 outs, 2 on the corner. A lot of twos. Oh, a good little sinker. And almost had Lockie fishing for it.
And be patient with us. We're out here in Troup, so the internet's not great, and so I know it's a little glitchy. We're working on
And
it.
that's in there for a strike 3. And Barry gets out of the inning with no runs and ends it with a strikeout.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on NETSN. Welcome back.
I was rocking, dude. Get me jamming up to Lollipop, man. Now, and you know, I know Jaren's been doing this well too, and I have as well. But we do go back and put the recording of these on.
Yeah. So after tonight's game, if it's glitchy throughout the game, what we'll do is we'll go up and because they record straight to our computer, we'll put that version on. So if you want to go back and watch it, it'll be a little bit cleaner.
But we do have our guru who is trying to fix it up. But we're still going to broadcast. We're not going anywhere. Colt Bullard, designated hitter for the Eagles, is in the box. And he's going to hit it to Cash Hardy. And Hardy is saying, not this time. I got a hold of it, and I'm going to throw it over for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Taking a little page out of Troup's book on that one. Dustin Hennigan will step in. Caden Graves. From the stretch, here's the pitch. And that's going to be, in my opinion, right on the outside corner, but not. At least, you know, the umpire is consistent, Jaren. He's it's got to be right there. It's got to be touching the corner of that plate. He does not give any leeway. And that pitch is going to be high. Right around the mouth. Figuratively.
All right, so after this half inning, we're going to try to make some adjustments here. So just hold on, be patient with us. 2 balls, no strikes.
In there for a strike.
That's Dustin Hennigan. We call him Henny at the plate.
Here's the pitch on inside, strike.
I guess went across the black there on the inside rubber. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dustin Hennigan.
Nobody on, 1 out.
So dribbler to the third baseman, makes the play, retires him. So that'll be 2 outs here.
And Cash Hardy getting a little practice over there. And redemption from his first inning error.
So I'll bring up Tucker Anthony. Try to get some things going here for the Eagles. Maybe a utility player will come in and play third, particularly when Barry's pitching. High ball.
That's kind of inside, too, but he didn't move. He didn't budge on it. Graves looking in. And here's the pitch. Hits that inside corner for a strike, 1-1.
One pitch. The dribbler over.
Oh, right through. And that went in between his arm and his body.
Wasn't that interesting? He was like he started the motion a little ahead, and so he didn't quite square up on it, and so kind of went through the loop there of his arm. And so either way, Anthony reaches first base.
And I'll tell you, it bounced. It took a weird bounce, and he was right in perfect position. And to me, it was not an error play. It was an unusual bounce right into the outfield.
Now, if Jason Cavazos was here, he'd score that in air. That dude's the tightest score I've ever. Man, he is harsh. Pass ball. Yeah. So Tucker Anthony will scamper to second.
And timeout's called as Childress is going to go have a conversation with Caden Graves. Now, I want to talk to you. I was going to talk to you about this earlier. Did you have a chance to watch I believe it was the Texas A&M and was it Kentucky game
Baseball?
Yeah, baseball. Remind me here in a minute, but Kentucky did a weird move where they actually stalled in order to run out the time on the game. I'll tell you about it here in just a minute. It's a tease called the radio tease.
I did the radio tease.
Radio tease.
1 ball, no strikes. From the stretch, he delivers the pitch. Shot up the middle. Shortstop comes, scoops it up, throws, makes a play. That'll retire the side.
Good job by Carter Graves.
All right, well, we'll be back. We're
throws
going
it
to
in.
try to fix the stream here a little bit as well. So hang tight. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
All right, everybody, I believe that we are back for now. And we appreciate your patience and understanding as we get everything set up. The first batter for the Tigers was Josh Childress. He had a base hit as Whitus tried to get him out, but couldn't quite get there in time. It was a deep hit behind the second base bag. And now we have James Pierce up as no balls, 1 strike for the Tigers. Nobody out, 1 on. Barry with the pitch. There's a hit towards left field into the gap. And a base hit by Pierce, so 2 on. Man on first and second.
Now your DH, number 11.
And Jackson
Connor
Prince
Smith.
is out to have a little pep talk with Barry. As Connor Smith will step in to the batter's box here shortly. And the Eagles ready to go. Childress and Pierce on first and second. We're in the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 as the Eagles lead. Throw to second, trying to get him, but not in time. Tried some tricky moves with Whitus, the shortstop, running away and trying to get him in the backside with Hines. Barry brings it home. Bunt by Smith, and the fielder's choice gets Connor Smith, but the sacrifice bunt does help.
Now batting
And advances
shortstop,
both
number
the runners
10, Carter Graves.
to the next bag. So we have 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out, and down at the bottom the batting order is Connor Graves comes in. Carter steps in. Barry's going to check the runners. He looks in. And nobody's covering second as Pierce leads off. It's going to be a infield fly and a good catch by Whitus. And now 2 on and 2 out. And back at the top of the lineup.
Now batting number 2, Hayden Hummel.
Hayden Hummel's going to step in, try to get something going. Hoping to bring those 2 runs in, or at least 1 to tie the ball game for the Tigers here in the bottom of the second. They're trailing 1-0. Hummel looks in. Barry from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Foul tip back for strike 1. Earlier, it looked like it was going to try to rain on us, but clouds moving fairly quickly above. The flag out in right center field, moving pretty steady. Another foul ball back, and that's going to make first strike 2. 0-2 now the count for Hayden Hummel. And a big pitch coming along now for Tristan Berry. Here's the pitch. High around the helmet for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a good pitch. It's going to be fouled back and stuck in the fence of the backstop. So we'll just chop that one up to the baseball gods. And the count's still 1-2. Here's the pitch by Barry. A good little breaking ball on the outside, but just a bit far. Couldn't catch that corner. And we talked about earlier is that the umpire very, very particular about on that outside corner where it needs to be hit. If it's just an inch far, he will not call it. Here's the pitch. And a good inside fastball ends the inning. And once again, Barry pitches himself out and ends the inning with a strikeout. So going and heading in to the top of the 3, we're through 2 so far, 1-0 as Tatum leads. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back. And we are back here in Troup, Texas at Tigers baseball field on the campus of Troup, well, high school and middle school. Both of them are side by side, right? See the Tiger football field from here. Caden Tatum is going to be next to bat. No correction. Adcock back at the top. Grant Adcock is going to be leading things off here in the top of the 3rd. He had a base hit back at the start of the ball game. And here's the pitch. He foul tip back into the Troup dugout. Adcock stepping back in. Caden Graves sets from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball on the outside, just a bit too far. And it's going to be 1-1. We're glad that you are joining us tonight. Go ahead and chat with us a little bit. Let us know where you're watching from, as that pitch is going to be just a bit inside. Adcock had to kind of shimmy out of the way. Excuse me. So 2 balls and 1 strike for Grant Adcock. And here's the pitch from Graves, and that's going to be foul tipped back, even the count at 2. Steps in, Adcock ready. Graves kind of looking in for a sign. Finally gets the pitch he wants, and then negative. No, he doesn't, as he walks off the back of the mound and steps back up. Speaking is hard.
Speaking is hard.
That pitch is going to be in there for a ball. 3-2. And Jaron messed up, so I made him go run laps.
That's what I felt like.
That's what you get for deleting that last one. Here's the pitch, and a high fly ball into left field. And back goes James Pierce, and he's there for the catch right in front of the wall. And it's going to be out. Number, I believe, 2 on that one, or number 1, excuse me, because he's the first batter. So a fly out for Adcock, and that's going to bring up number 21, Cooper Whitus. Whitus struck out back in the first inning, hoping to redeem himself a little bit. Here's the pitch by Graves. And I guess that caught the inside corner. It had a little bit of something on it. I don't know what, but it looked to be a little bit inside to me. But again, like Jaron and I said earlier, we don't get paid to make the calls.
No, so I love having
Balls and
this.
strikes.
I love having the center field camera, Keith. But
Yeah.
God, center field's a long way out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
We need to get Brett to buy us a little Segway or a, I have a bike that has a little motorbike that we
Oh
can have.
man, that's what we need.
I don't think I have to get it out of storage. My wife's listening. Maybe she can.
Go ahead and get that out.
Yeah.
And start dusting it off.
Right.
Here comes a pitch. Upstairs.
Just got a text from my wife. I'm gonna after this pitch.
You're probably gonna hear that.
Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. That's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes. And while we're sitting here, I want to give a shout out to my little boy Walker, who's watching.
Oh, Walker man.
Of course, he'd rather be watching Wildcrats right now than listening to his dad.
Hey, that's a big thing in our house too.
Man, I love
I'll
it.
tell
Yeah.
you.
But love my boy. Be nice to your mom. In there for, that looked like a strike.
It missed a little bit. It had some sauce on it though.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something that'll blow your mind.
What's
Right?
that?
And all these people watching, they're like, why are they talking about this? But we're dad of toddlers, okay? So we can say this.
Okay.
Zaboomafoo, Wildcrats, same people. Zaboomafoo from a long time ago.
Yeah, I guess so.
Same folks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Found out and blew my mind.
Oh, that's going to bounce in
Ball's
and
in the dirt.
hit the umpire. He's hurting a little bit. So Walker calls it Cool Crats,
Cool Crats.
which
yeah.
I actually like that name better than Wildcrats.
There we go.
But so yeah.
Hey, I found out that we have our friends from Maine watching. Coach
All
Russell's
right.
Coach Russell's brother lives up there, and they're faithful to tune in and always love when they can. Yeah, let us know when you're chatting.
Yeah.
Who you're cheering for, where you're cheering from. We'd appreciate it.
And also want to give a shout out to my wife as well. She's watching.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. You gotta give her
intern
a
Claire.
shout-out. Intern Claire.
If she's watching, I think she should be studying.
She should be.
Because she's off in college and
Off
she
in
should
college,
be studying.
she should be studying.
But if she is not and she's watching this, which I doubt she is, but we got a shout out to her here from Troup America.
It could have. It could be her ambiance.
Yes,
Yeah, she could
yes.
have it in the
In the
ambiance,
background,
In the
yes.
background while she's studying. So.
She'd rather be here, I'm sure,
Yep.
or anywhere else than studying.
All right, here we go. We've got the Prince, Jackson Prince, in the box here for the Eagles.
He struck out last time, back in the first.
Here comes a pitch, low in the dirt. So our owner, founder, CEO, Grand Poopah of NETSN, Brett Sweeney, said he's cheering for Keith and Jaron. We appreciate that. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, after the first couple innings, yes.
The 1-0 pitch.
Oh.
Man,
Yeah.
our angle, I can't get a. I'm not.
I can't get a read
I
on
can't
this
get
guy.
a read. I can't get a read, and it's nothing against
No,
him. He's
it's
probably
not.
calling consistent. We just can't, from our angle, can't get a good read.
Because that looks way inside. But I'm also reacting to the player trying to move.
Yeah.
And it could be a good little curveball that's coming in,
He
or a
got
slider.
some good speed on it, yeah, or some good spin on it, yeah.
But you never know.
The pickoff move to first. They don't get him. But Wattis gets a little dirty. That's what the uniform's for, right?
Oh, of course. Of course. 1 out. And
It's
that
outside.
pitch, yeah, that one's going to go on the outside. And, you know, he's very, very, how can I say, he's very conservative with the inside pitches, but very liberal and very tight on that outside pitch.
yeah.
He doesn't want it. That's high.
Upstairs.
That was about the brim of the hat on that high pitch.
So 3 balls, 1 strike, the count. To Prince from Graves.
Now don't forget we got the tease of the I think it was the Kentucky A&M game, college game the other night. That's in there for a
Called
strike.
strike. That brings us to a full count. Graves sets. Knees up, pitch delivered. It's fouled behind us out of the play.
While you were out running your laps,
Yeah.
a ball got fouled up and got stuck into the webbing of the
Well, that's
fencing. It was pretty
good
cool.
because if that webbing wasn't there, it probably would have landed right around here.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
We do not want that.
My face is too pretty to need help. That's why
That's
I got a
right.
face for radio.
That's right. Full count pitch. It's a shot high. It's a moonshot into shallow right center. Could be trouble. Second baseman comes back, makes a catch.
And a double play.
They get Cooper. He
Wow.
kind of thought it was going to fall, and that's kind of a no man's land spot, right? Because if that ball lands there and he's stranded, so again, I will say that's one that's kind of tough there. When it's that shallow right center field spot.
Wow.
So nonetheless, Wise gets tagged up. So no runs across the board this bottom of the inning. So the Eagles still on top. 1-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN. Welcome back, folks. Cash Hardy stepping up to the plate for the Tigers. Again, apologize for the glitchiness. Again, just not wonderful cell phone service, especially with the weather and the clouds and all that.
So I'm looking at this, Jaron. I'm looking at the standings, and I believe it's going to be a foul ball hit back by Cash Hardy here to start off the bottom of the third. Tatum's sitting atop district right now.
Yeah, so right now it's their district to lose. Now White Oak is considered another contender. Now they did drop one to Gladewater, which was kind of a surprising. I say that Gladewater, on the game one of their 2-game series with Tatum, it went into 11 innings, and Tatum ended up winning that. So Gladewater's probably have a better team than they've traditionally had.
Right.
And so they split with White Oak. So right now you got Tatum at 1 and White Oak still in that second spot, I believe. And then Troup's right there too. And so it gets kind of muddied up in that 2-3 spot.
Right. So I'll tell you, I've always had a theory when it comes to baseball and softball. And that one's in there for a strike. And I've said this every year and almost every game, especially when they're close. But I've always said that 95, 96, 97% of baseball, softball games that are close, and that's going to be a walk by Cash, and he's going to head down, but that are close going into
number 8,
around the 4th or 5th inning. One of the teams in the 4th or 5th inning is going to make a breakout, and it's going to go one way or the other. 95, 96% of the time, that's what's going to happen, and I'm usually right. Don't tell my wife I said that. But so I imagine in the next inning or so, maybe not this one, but in the next inning or so, one of these two teams is going to make a breakout.
And I think you're right. I think that a lot of times that's a pretty good play there as Barry throws back to first.
And the reason I say that is you get the timing down of your pitchers. You've usually seen them twice. You've gone through the lineups, especially here as the fly ball goes out to center field, and that blew over.
Oh man, that wind got a hold of that one just out of Hennigan's reach. Man, that was coming down, and it just took a gust and fell. And so
that got all of us. Adcock was watching it, and Hennigan tried to get over too, but that gust of wind came and just blew it over out of the reach.
Man, that was crazy. Whew. So we got runners on first and second now for the Tigers.
And they're only down by 1 as one run came across back in the first off of an E5 for Tristan Berry as he hit it to third and it bounced off the glove of Cash Hardy. And it's going to bounce. Good stop.
Great stop by
Prince.
So one thing, this is your first baseball game to do this year. So now we have the D1, D2 splits in baseball, and so you're seeing some matchups that you would typically see 3rd and 4th round now earlier. So like whoever wins first place in this district, more than likely will take on. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch there by Barry. More than likely take on Liberty Ilo in the second round of the playoffs, who's number 1 undefeated. Well, I don't know if they're undefeated, but undefeated in district, but. So where a matchup that you used to would see, a little bit further on, you're seeing that a little earlier. The 1-1 off-speed pitch.
Ooh, that was a good little. That dropped just a tad, and I guess it dropped right into the strike zone.
Man, it looked like going to have that look that it was going to stay high, and then just right as it crossed the plate, it fell into the honey hole and called strike there. So 2-1 the count.
This is Caden Graves. Excuse me, Carson Davenport.
Chat with us. Let us know you're there, who you're cheering for, where you're cheering from. Barry sets. Pitch delivered. Off-speed pitch. Called strike. And that will retire him.
That
was nasty. Mrs. Coach Tubblefield's watching. Hello, Mrs. Coach Tubblefield, Miss Lindsay. Thanks for tuning in.
Logan Lockett got a strikeout, was struck out back in the first.
Ball hit out of play.
Back into the woods. That's going to be given up to the baseball gods. Unless the kids go out and play hide and seek.
I wonder if this is a ballpark that gives gum. I don't think that's done anymore. It's a lost art of baseball, giving gum out with a foul ball when you return a foul ball. Shot hit over to third base. Anthony grabs it. They get the lead guy at second.
And a fielder's choice on that one.
Well, no.
Whoa, did he drop
the ball
it? No,
bounces
he called it
out.
The umpire called it out.
Oh, so he held it out long enough, so the ball does pop out of Hans' glove.
And I think he dropped it on the exchange after he'd already tagged. So a good call, but a fielder's choice
Now batting number
is
1,
how Lockie
Josh
makes it to
Childress.
And now Josh Childress, who got a base hit back in the second. So I will say that the last 2 innings for Barry, he has had runners in scoring position on second and third both times and has struck out to end the inning both times with 2 outs. So this is not new, having 2 runners on as a swing and a miss by Childress on that breaking ball. Not in time on the throw to first. Barry from the stretch. And it's going to be fouled out on the right field side.
Out of the play. So Barry ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Showing Keith some of this new software we have, but these guys on the base pads, sometimes I forget to update it, Keith. And so
Yeah. Sometimes you get too into calling the game.
Yeah, Coach Butler from ARP is always faithful to check in too. ARP's playing Douglas, and so softball won 11-8, and baseball's up 1-0 ARP over Douglas. So thanks for.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say that was a good cut by Childress. Yeah. He was shooting for that left field line there on that swing.
So thanks for letting us know how ARP's doing tonight, Coach Butler. Appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in as always. No balls, 2 strikes again. Good battle here in the box. Good battle on the bump. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. Runners going.
And a horrible throw and catch. Trying to catch the runner. It's like, I think he was just trying to be light, didn't want to throw it out in the center field and risk a run.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I wouldn't have thrown it. I'd have just let him go. Those are gimme bases right there in this position.
I think maybe what he was trying to do was draw this guy to maybe make the throw and him going, but that's why he kept it kind of simple like that. The 0-2, ball fouled away out of play.
And again, Barry in a position to end the inning with a strikeout and with runners on second and third the same way he's done the last 2 innings.
That'd be huge. Again, Barry, a sophomore, so it's a good experience for the underclassmen, right?
Right.
In these kind of high clutch, high intensity situations, high pressure situations. So Barry sets from the stretch. He'll set. Knees up, pitch delivered. Inside pitch. I tell you, that wasn't far off, dude. That was not far off.
I don't know what he wants.
That was not far off.
I don't know what he wants. It's got to be frustrating as a batter.
Oh, fouled away. So a good battle here. Well, as a pitcher is what I'm thinking. I mean, because you put it, right in the, But again, our angle's kind of hard to tell. But that wasn't a bad pitch, especially when you're ahead in the count.
But Jaron, we're always right.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, just ask us.
That's right.
We'll tell you.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Barry sets again. Runners on second and third. We'll dribble or hit up. Whitus comes up, scoops it up. He'll fire. They scoop. They'll retire it. So good job by the Eagle defense holding their own. And so no runs will come across for Troup. The Eagles still lead 1-0. We'll be back here on NETSN. Welcome back. Mrs. Coach Chapelville, Miss Lindsay says we can always count on Coop. Yep, that's right. A good play there by Coop. And so I got to let you know, Keith, because you may be doing that game Friday there at Tatum.
Yes.
And so weather pending and all that. So
yeah.
Mrs. Coach Chapelville, Miss Lindsay, is part of an entourage that sits in the kind of behind the scores table up right next to where we set up.
All
and so
right.
it's a fun little group. And, oh, man, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, weather pending, I will be there on Friday.
Yeah.
Believe I will have a partner. I don't know quite who yet, but
Yeah.
either way, I will.
Because I probably won't. Now, there is always a chance because here's because this will be my Friday will be my 3- and 4-year-old T-ball coaching debut.
Right, there you
And
go.
so, so coaching 3- and 4-year-old T-ball.
You're
Our
a better
first
man
game,
than I.
Our first game is Friday, so I can't miss the first game.
Well, depending on the weather, although the weather is showing it is supposed to get bad, but fingers crossed.
Of course, at Eagle Park there, it's turf, and
Right,
so
so it depends on when it stops.
When it stops, and it is, if it's like an active thunderstorm, I just won't play. But even if it's a
Obviously.
little wet
Right.
and stuff, they can handle that pretty well.
But either way, somebody
Yeah,
will be at a game.
If a game's playing, we'll be there. All right, here we go.
Barry on the
In the
box. Stepping up to the plate.
Hey, let us know how we're doing, how the broadcast looks. I know, again, a little bit of internet issues. That's a thing with away games, but ball misses. Let us know how the broadcast is. We appreciate you tuning in.
I was low and outside. A good fishing ball, but Barry didn't go for it.
1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fouls that one
back.
away. Good cut there.
Okay, so I was going to tell you about the Kentucky A&M game. I'm going to tell you about it in between. But so apparently there's a new rule where if you're an away team, you cannot play past 4:30 on a certain, like on a weekend or something.
Oh.
And so
They stalled to try and get
they
it past.
stalled. They were up by A&M was about to. Oh, you can't start another inning.
Yeah, past, yeah.
4:30. So they literally held the ball. The catcher faked a helmet issue.
Yeah.
Then they went and talked to the pitcher, and and so the coaches started screaming. Oh man, it was awesome. But I thought it was it was smart, but kind of cruddy. On the outside corner is a strike, however, by Graves. Count even at 2. So a lot of yelling and very, very colorful words there down at A&M, where they learn that kind of stuff. Comes with the ring.
Got some questions about the officiating. Hey, so here's the deal. We can say what we think, and we always try to we want to support the officials. It's a tough job.
Which was a beautiful pitch.
Man,
right
that
there,
was
by the way.
a breaking ball called strike 3, and that actually broke right at the right spot. So, man, that's a tough call there for Barry. So, but we might say, hey, we want this or that, but really these guys do a great job. We're thankful for them, and know it's.
And some of our
tough.
reactions are based on what the player does. If the player moves,
right.
we say, oh, but. Again, we're at an angle. We're off to the side, and
They're closer than we are.
They're right behind, and so we.
Yeah. Hines at the plate now. Ball low.
But I did umpire for a while. Never will again. I would never umpire, and I will never referee basketball ever again in my entire life. You cannot pay me enough money.
I think I could do
that.
football just because I'm far enough away from the stands, but you are
Yeah.
close to the coaches. So.
Yeah, but I can handle that. But no, but it is difficult at times,
Yeah.
especially when that thing breaks the way it does. Here's the pitch. It's going to be about
Called
right
below
above.
yeah.
It's right above the number. It was between. I was
Between
right
the layers
the numbers and the, and the neck.
Yeah. So it was kind of a unique spot there. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
But you also got to look at where it crossed, like far
plate,
out wise.
right, yeah.
If he can make contact, that's going to be a strike zone, and that's a good hit
a
down the first base line. He's a little dribbler.
A little dribbler, yeah. And so they tag first base, so Hines is retired. That's going to bring up Cole Buller. They call him Bull,
Yeah,
designated hitter.
he's one for one. As he grounded out in the second. I put my stuff on the wrong inning here.
High pitch called ball upstairs.
And I apologize, he's not 1 for 1. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on for the Eagles. Here comes the pitch.
And a good break.
Good breaking ball placed well there for Graves, and so called strike. So even up 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I apologize, I keep interrupting. I'm usually by myself.
Yeah,
so it's kind of.
No, it's a good call. Cool called strike.
That
on
was a
the,
frame. Okay, that's what we call a frame job.
Good frame job. By
That was a fantastic frame job by Joshua Childress, and that was beautiful.
The official obliged on that one, didn't he?
Yes.
The 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
So that hits Bull on the inside shoulder, and so
Hit
He'll-
by pitch.
he'll skimper down to first base. And I did a game. I guess it was a couple weeks ago that I think Bull got hit. I want to say like 2 or 3 times in one game. It was like he was a magnet.
Wow. I think it was last year, I did a game. It was a playoff game at ETBU, high school playoff game. I forget, I think it was Pleasant Grove. And one of their players got hit every single time he went up to bat. Like literally every time. He got so frustrated. He's like, I just want to hit the ball. And it was just, and it was 2 different pitchers. It wasn't like the same pitcher. It was like 2 or 3 different. Every pitcher they put up there, I think there was a magnet in the ball that was drawn to him or something.
Henney steps up to the plate. Man on first base, 2 outs. Pitch kind of sails away, gets away from Graves a little bit, so called ball, 2 balls, no strikes.
Good job by Childress to just hop up and kind of reach for that ball and keep it from being passed back, because that would have advanced the runner.
2-0's the count. Henney at the plate.
Not in time.
Ball misses. They throw it out to first. Gets back in time. Bull does. And they haven't put the pitch up there yet, but I believe that's called ball.
Yeah, 3-0 the count. It's a little low.
The 3-0 pitch. High inside.
Yeah.
And so 2 guys on now for the Eagles. As Tucker Anthony will step up to the plate.
And Anthony got a base hit back in the second. And we're going to see what he does is going to have a little conversation out there with Caden Graves. Kind of calm him down a little bit when you have a walk and a hit by pitch back to back.
Yep.
You want to kind of talk your pitcher down just a bit, because what you don't want to do in this position is you don't want him to throw a wild pitch, advance your runners both in the scoring position, or give an opportunity for a guy who's already hit you once with Tucker Anthony to get you again and possibly bring in runs.
And back when I was coaching, I just had my pitchers just do a walk around the mound. You know, just take a breather. Called strike. Comes right across the knees there for Anthony.
And a good comeback. That is a good boost pitch right there to give you a little bit of a just rear back and just heat right across.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here comes the 0-1. He hits a shot. It falls. Well, the center fielder makes a dive for it. He gets past him. 1 run comes in.
And that's what you did not want to do if you're Troup.
So Henny gets to third. An RBI single there for Tucker Anthony, and a good night for the underclassmen.
Yeah, and you've got Braxton Barton trying to dive for the ball, and when you're in a position like this, you don't do that. If you're not certain if you're going to catch the ball, it's not ESPN. You're not trying to make SportsCenter top 10. You're trying to play the ball. So play the hop.
Play the hop.
And keep your runners at third. Yeah, you may have the bases, but you got 2 outs. So you got bases loaded, and you got a runner. You don't play the run.
Caden Tatum at the plate, and lefty, quick guy. He's one of the 2 guys on this Tatum baseball team that were members of the state championship Tatum Eagle basketball team, Keith. So
that's awesome.
They won the state championship, and so Caden and Cooper were a little late getting over to the baseball diamond. Ball misses outside, so 1-1.
And now what you want to capitalize on if you're Tatum is you want to be patient at the plate, because your pitcher now, Caden Graves, is going to be in his head. Because now you've got runners at the corners, you're down by 2. But a good
shot hit up the middle. They flip it to second.
And a good job.
They make the play, so that will retire the side, but they do put 1 across the plate here. We'll be back here on NETSN.
Takes me back to my high school days.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so
Shows my age.
Sterling Mathis, a teacher at Tatum High School, and also does the PA for baseball. He does a great job and has a great music selection. And so KO did a game with me, and he was just living it up. I tell you, he was in his happy place, just dancing the whole time. Barry's still on the mound, throws the first pitch.
Oh.
Not a bad first strike pitch. Just misses a little low outside, I think.
Yeah, that was a little bit below the knees, right at or below.
The 1-0.
Now that. He's saying it was low. It was just above the last pitch, but.
Yeah, it was a little higher, I thought. 2-0.
And Barry trying to bring a little bit more heat. There's a little bit more pop on the ball in this one.
There is. That one's fouled away.
There has been before. But also, now we're in a position where you got players that have seen you now before.
They put a little mustard on it.
James Pierce has base hit, and he's going to hit it again.
Into left field. Henny comes back, makes the catch, so he's retired.
Connor Smith had a sacrifice bunt back in the second.
Now batting number 11, Connor Smith.
Let us know how the broadcast is. Chat on there with us. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and then wait a minute or two, and you'll be able to chat with us.
Don't take into account the internet.
Yeah. Shot hit to second base. Hines scoops it up, throws. They get him. He's efficient innings, I tell you. It's the pitcher's best friend.
Carter Graves stepping up to the plate next. He's bottom of the lineup. He flew out
Batting number 10,
back into
Carter
second.
Graves.
And Barry just going to try to get out of this one as quick as he can.
Here comes the pitch.
And
little dribble or hit up. Could be trouble behind, scoops up.
And tries to do the
bare
no hand.
And again, that was just a tough, and you're playing on a natural field, grass field, right? And so, so you're playing on.
I'm calling that.
Coming
I'm
up to
calling
the
that
plate, number
an
2.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
The ball stopped.
Yeah, I'm not.
The ball stopped.
Fine. I'll give him a base hit. You're a lot nicer than I am.
Hey, man, you know.
You're more nice than I am.
Here we go. So, man on first. Again, we're here in the bottom of the fourth, a 2-0 game.
Yeah, that hit the ground. That bounced off the plate there. Good stop by Childress.
Prince.
I mean,
Tatum's
Prince,
fielding.
sorry. I looked at the wrong.
You're still in the,
I'm still
top
in
of the inning.
yeah, my bad.
The 1-0. Called ball. I think that was maybe a hair outside.
Just a bit outside.
Ball hit. Gets just past Cooper.
That's a good dive, but that wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
That was gonna be it. That's a hard one.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, on your backhand side, right? That's just gonna be a tough one to
that's
get.
a little bit harder than trying to palm a ball that was just going a half an inch an hour. You know, but whatever. I'm not gonna say anything. Cass already stepping up. He walked back in the third.
Mr. Grouchy. Come on.
I'm not grouchy. I'm just, realistic here.
So here we go.
2 on, 2 out.
Ball just misses. So 1 ball, no strike.
That was a little bit outside.
Yeah, it's a little outside. Again, he's I think he's hitting his spots pretty well. Just the guys at the plate have got pretty good discipline, not really chasing a whole lot.
And the umpire's actually being very consistent.
Yeah, I think, especially as the game's gone on, right?
Yeah. He's got his spot. He knows what he likes. I mean, we may not like where it is, but he has what he wants. He's not where you get into trouble is the consistency where it's, one is one way and it's different the next.
The 1-0. Off-speed pitch.
That's going to drop.
Hits in the right center gap, and so 1 run will come in. Tatum will scoop up the ball. The runner will hold at third, so the Tigers are on the board.
And Hardy gets an RBI single out of that one.
Now batting number 8, King Graves.
So 2 outs, runners on the corners. It's a pitcher-on-pitcher duel here.
Tying run at third.
But these are the situations that Barry really has so far with the 2 outs, has held his own well. And up until just now, kept Troup scoreless.
But this is where I said they've got the timing down. Hardy had already seen him twice.
Ball misses low outside.
And this is also where the frustration comes in with the fans.
Oh, yeah.
On both sides, because you get things that don't get called.
Oh, yeah. Which is baseball, right?
Baseball, basketball,
Yeah.
softball.
Now
same pitch.
That's, but I think that's the spot that Barry's trying to live at there. That, kind of on that kind of just outside there.
I think he's also.
Ball hit into center field. Adcock tracks back, makes the catch.
Yeah.
So they will score 1, but they'll strand 2.
I was going to say right before that, I think what he's trying to make him fish, is what he's trying to do. I mean, when you pull it that far to the outside, you're trying to make him fish a little bit and get that strike.
All right, well, we'll be right back here on NETSN.
But Grant Adcock will look to get things going here. Adcock is 1 for 1. Excuse me. 1 for 2. He's got a base hit and a fly out. Graves still on the mound. And we will see what happens. We've gone through 4, so we're at the top of the 5th. As Tatum holds on to that 1-run lead, but the Tigers finally crack it open in last inning, bottom of the last inning.
All right, so Adcock at the plate. Wireless will be on deck behind him. Here in the top of the 5th inning here in Troup, Texas. The wind's just a humming.
Troup America.
Troup America.
That's what I was told. Troup America. My daughter, a proud graduate.
Oh,
Intern
yeah,
Claire,
right.
proud graduate of
That's
Troup
right. Forgot
America High School.
Ball misses. And so, hey, that's a consistent, that's a consistent call there. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's what I've said. He's consistent with that outside call.
The 1-0. Ball's high. Hey, let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. If you haven't already, we'd love to know. 2-0. Fouls it away.
He fought that one off. That one's going to be inside. He kind of hit down low on the bat and hurt Hanville.
Yeah, well, revert. I forgot what's a stinger.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. Adcock at the plate.
I think he thought that might have moved a little bit more over when he swung. That one was high. I've noticed, and I don't know if you have or not, but players these days are inching in more closer to the plate than they did when I played. My deal was moving further back in the box and more in the middle. But these days they get closer to that plate. They crowd it.
3-1 swing and a miss. So that'll bring us to a full count.
And I guess I don't understand the mentality of that. I know they're trying to get into the head of the pitcher get but I always just wanted to hit. I don't want to, put me in the middle, back it up where I can just rock it down the third base line and get on base, because I can't run out of sight in a day, but I can hit the ball.
Payoff pitch. Ball hit well in the left field. Could be trouble. Let's see.
That's
a homerooski!
Home run. That's Adcock. That's over the big part of the wall there, down left field line.
Down left field, yeah.
What did I say? 4th or 5th inning?
Yeah, here we go. So a homerooski.
Now, luckily there was
for
nobody
the
else
Eagles.
on the plate. Oh, luckily and unfortunately for one side and the other, there's nobody else on base. But a good hit, solid hit, and that's going to bring up your coach to the mound for the Tigers. After the conversation, we'll see how he got calmed down by Coach. Here's the pitch. High and inside.
Again, guys, we're sorry for the glitching. We're just having some internet issues. Ooh. Did that hit him?
I don't think so. I think it was inside. Just missed him. Nobody on. Foul tip.
Getting a question on how far
Yeah.
the outfield fence is, but these are not marked, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, and I don't see it either.
Yeah, it's not marked.
Cooper Whitus is 0 for 2. He walked last inning, struck out in the first inning. Well, excuse me, walked in the third inning, struck out in the first. Oh, that was hit by pitch, though. And that looked like he was trying to get a little curveball, a little action, and it just lost it.
Yeah.
It hung too far. And I don't see, I'm trying to look for the bullpen. I'm not seeing any action on either side. But it looks like they're going to stick with Graves after a home run and hit by pitch in the first two. Add first two batters here in the top of the fifth. Runner on first. Nobody out. Jackson Prince in the box. Low and outside. Good stop by Childress. Want to know the count?
So Prince at the plate. Ball misses. A little outside.
And a time called as Childress is going to go have a conversation again.
Man, it was just a little to the left. So.
So after the conversation, Childress back behind the plate. Prince going to step in. Runner on first. 2 balls, no strikes. Graves from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And there's going to be into the outfield. Oh, no, a good stop by Carter Graves, but not enough. He gets it out into center field, into the center field grass, and makes the stop, but doesn't get the ball up in time. And it's going to be a base hit for Jackson Prince. So nobody out for the cleanup batter, Tristan Berry, 2 on. Runners on first and second. And Caden Graves finding himself in a little bit of a pickle here in the fifth. That's going to bounce. Good stop. But the runner's going to go. And a great choice by Childress not to make a throw, just to allow the runners to get to their bases.
Double steal there. Ball hits to the shortstop. He's going to check the runner, throw. High throw, but he gets him down. Runners stay put.
That was a good play by Carter Graves. So Tristan Berry's 0 for 3 in the ball game, and here comes Cody Hines. Two on, one out. And time called. Steps back in. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside. Good stop by the catcher, Childress. One run across by Adcock's home run to lead off the inning. There's a shot down the right field line, and that's going to score one. Davenport gets it in, and they're going to catch him. And a great throw by Davenport, Carson Davenport.
So they will get Prince coming in. I think they got that ball uncharacteristically and quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they.
Well, it wasn't as hard a hit, or maybe the dew, because it is a little bit.
Well, it's just grass,
It's
right?
just grass, yeah.
right.
I don't think it's a turf field. So the grass kind of slowed it down a little bit more than they thought.
Yeah.
But a run does come across. So that makes it 4-1. And that's going to be a base hit for Cody Hines. Colt Bullard is going to step in. Low one on the outside. She'll just try to frame it again. Didn't work. Runner on second base. 2 down, and Graves going to step off the mound.
And again, guys, sorry we were just having some issues with the internet. It's something's going
Right
on.
here in the woods.
Yeah, we are in the woods.
Swing and miss, and that's going to bounce off the plate and advance the runner to third. It was a swing and a miss, so the strike is going to be 1-1. Bullard took a little 9-iron swing on that one. Does advance the runner and got a 1-1, 2 out, and runner right down on third base.
Bull in the box.
Grounded out, and he was hit by a pitch last at bat. Right on that.
1-1.
It's a good cut. And I know exactly what he was doing.
And the bat around quick on that one.
I think he was trying to go straight up the middle on that one. But the pitcher threw a little bit of a change up on him. And
So got around quick. Yeah.
excuse me.
Again, if it's kind of glitching some, we apologize. We're trying to get it corrected here.
We'd rather keep going than just cut it all off. Like,
Yeah.
1-2 the count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. High and inside. He went for the swing but pulled back and almost hit him in the hands, but good play.
And hey, I don't know that we got Grant's home run because, you know, when you're at a visitor park, you're kind of subject to how the field's set up on our camera angles. And so our angle just, I think it was because it kind of hugged the line there.
And
Runner's coming. That's
runner
Hines.
is coming, yeah. Passed ball. It was just inside, and he right off the glove of Childress.
All right, so full count here. Bull in the box.
Two and two the count. Excuse me, full count.
Graves sets. Payoff pitch. Hit right down the third base line. Perfectly placed. And so Bull runs into second on a well-hit double for Bull. I tell you, that hugged the line. Got all the way to the fence. And what a good piece of hitting there for Bull. All right, so I think we are probably going to see a pitching change here.
They're talking about it. I haven't seen anybody go practice, but I don't know if that's
All right, so we are going to have a pitching change here. So we'll go to a break. And when we come back, we'll see kind of what the changes are here for the Tigers. The Eagles lead 5-1. We'll be right back. So Cash Hardy in the All right, we are trying to work on the internet. Here at NETSN, we try to have plan A, B, and C, and when it comes to internet, and we have them, it's just trying to work through them and get to them during broadcast and still broadcasting.
So it looks like Hayden Hummel, I believe, is now at third. We'll have to figure all that out at some point.
I think that might be Graves at second. I think.
Can't read there.
Well, comebacker. Let's see. He has a hard time with it, so Henny will reach safely. Runner coming in.
Got him.
They said they got him. So, all right. Well, that will be the third out, so we'll be right back here on NETSN. Welcome back. Keith's having a good old time with the music, I tell you.
Taking me back, man. Taking me back. Well, that was an interesting way to end the fifth. 3 runs came across, or in the top of the fifth, excuse me. 3 runs did come across for the Eagles, so it's 5-1.
The bottom of the fifth is where we're at. Barry's still on the mound for the Eagles. Even if our video is glitchy, luckily our audio is still able to come across okay. So,
and we are awesome to listen to.
Oh man,
sorry.
Hey, I came up. You know, my first 10 years of doing this was radio. So before all this fancy video.
Oh, I know. I did. Well, I did radio, but I didn't do sports radio. I did music radio.
Oh.
So I worked for KV&E for a while.
Oh, I know.
Back in the day.
So here we go. Ball low. Outside.
Where did that go?
Behind us.
It went up. I know that. So that sounded like a foul ball up. Here's the pitch. And a little high, it says. So 2 balls and no strikes. And Davenport didn't quite make it. That'll bring up Logan Lucky.
Now batting number 15, Logan Lucky.
Lucky struck out and had a reached on a fielder's choice so far this game. Swung on and missed with the first pitch. It was low and outside, but he went for it. And I think that's what we were talking about earlier. The kind of pitches that Barry's been trying to get. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And I see what you're talking about, Jaron. Barry's really quick on the mound. He just gets the ball. And not a quick pitch, but quicker than most. And three pitches, 3 strikes, and there's the out. Lockie's second strikeout of the ball game.
Now batting number 1, Josh Childress.
So Childress, the catcher, will step up. He has a base hit and a ground out so far this ball game. And a hit into left field. It's going to be in shallow left. And Hennigan's going to get up, and 3 up, 3 down go the Tigers, and we're on to the 6th.
All right, we'll be right back here for the 6th inning here on NETSN. Welcome back.
Music on point once again. Can't be a little Phil Collins. They're trying to fast forward to the cool part. Yeah, the cool part. Well,
So Tucker Anthony will come up.
I think he's going to try to start off the cool point and get some more runs across for
And he's had a good night, for sure.
the Eagles. Yeah. He's got a RBI single back in the fourth and a base hit back in the second. So he's 2 for 2 so far. Cash Hardy, leading pitch there, a little high. Here's the windup and the pitch. On the outside. Ball 2.
The 2-0.
Hmm.
So good out of there by Anthony. It was a little low, so 3 balls, no strikes.
That was in there for a strike. Good pitch on the inside.
So 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, no outs. The 3-1 pitch. Misses outside, so ball 4. Anthony's on the base pads.
So he's been on base a lot. And that'll bring up Tatum,
So Caden Tatum.
possibly.
Yep.
Yep. I was wondering what was going on. It's like, are they bringing in a pinch hitter? But nope. Lefty coming in.
Quick on the base pads.
Made it on the fielder's choice back in the fourth.
So steps out, steps back in. He shows bunt, fouls it away.
Trying to advance the runner, do a little sacrifice.
And Coach Russell's not afraid of small ball.
Yeah.
It's something that I've enjoyed about when broadcasting in the last few years because an old baseball guy, you love the small ball, and so you don't see it as much anymore.
Small ball works.
I love it.
If you use it effectively, if you use it correctly, it works
I
well.
love it. And so that's something that Tatum has always prided themselves on and using it well and in the right spots. Throw back to first. He's back in time, Anthony. And so no balls, 1 strike to Caden Tatum.
I do notice that, the runners for Tatum don't really take much of a lead.
It's a little dribbler.
He goes up high for that one.
So it does advance the runner as they throw Tatum out at first.
I don't know if I would call that. I guess you'd call that a sacrifice.
Yeah.
A sacrifice fly swat, because that's what that was. He went up for that one.
It was elevated, hit down.
Yeah.
It was a little dribbler. Kind of the same idea of a bunt,
it
right?
works.
And so it advances the runner. So Grant Adcock, who went a yard, and we were told that it went. There's another field over there, football field, that went into the football field.
Oh, wow.
Past that fence. And he hits a shot.
And a rundown.
Yeah, so that was an interesting throw. I don't know if you were able to see it. I think the ump might have been standing in the way on our angle there, but it fell right in front of the shortstop. And so he was able to kind of catch the runner there in the pickle there, but Adcock reaches safely. So Whitus will step up. They do get that lead out, though, so 2 outs now.
And that was a rule predicament, almost a rule predicament, because it could have been out on a interference call by the runner there. He kind of did a pretty good job of trying to stay out of it, but ended up getting out anyway.
Ball's low, gets away from the catcher, so Adcock will reach safely.
And he's going to try to go to 3. That was a very, very
He's there.
good
Slides
call.
Yeah. And
I was going to wait to call that one.
Hey, he slid well, and Adcock's real quick. He's a fast guy.
He's got some wheels. That's why I said I stalled there for a minute. I was going to say a bad call, but I don't have the speed. I didn't notice his speed until right about there.
No, and I'll tell you, I think one of the reasons why I like how Tatum does this is, there's going to be games, especially as you get in the playoffs, where you're going to need those extra base runners as much as you can. So taking those extra bases, I think that's what can really separate teams sometimes, right?
Right.
And obviously, you don't want to be aggressive where to a point where you're negligent or whatever, but over aggressive. But I think
of course,
being smart on the base pads and taking every extra base you can get. 1-1. Little dribble hits to the third baseman. Could be trouble. He throws. Good stretch there. Makes the play at first, so they'll strand one. And
that was a great job by Lockie.
Great stretch, great snag. So, all right, well, we'll be back here for the bottom of the 6 here on NETSN. So Barry's still on the mound for the Eagles.
Well, I mean, why not? He went 3 up, 3 down last inning.
And
he's coming in. I mean, he's gotten his second, third, or fourth win, whichever one you want to call it.
I tell you, and that's what makes it great when you have those efficient innings. Those 10-pitch innings, right? It just really extends the length of your starter pitcher, and
well, not only that, but it gives you a little bit of a boost in morale.
Yeah,
it gives you that little
that's
oomph.
true. Yeah,
and the music's going to get loud, which I don't mind. It's a good song.
Oh yeah, you're a rocker.
That's
right.
Everybody's bobbing the head. All the old folks around here, like me, are bobbing the head.
7, James Pierce.
So Pierce at the plate. Barry's still on the mound from the windup. He'll deliver the 0-0.
Pierce has had a base hit and a fly out in the ball game. So he's 1 for 2. Excuse me.
The 1-0. Inside. Brush him off the plate a bit, right?
Yeah, give him a little bit of a song to sing there.
Slight a nudge.
Just let him know he's there. Little Nolan Ryan, how you doing?
2-0. Ball fouled away.
I don't think these kids know how Nolan Ryan used to tell people hello, how are you?
He just reminded them whose plate it was,
who they were up against. Especially the younger. I remember he used to play with, and the younger kids would get up there, younger players, and they'd forget I'm Nolan Ryan. He would let them know quickly.
Gets a piece of that one. Fouls it, tips it away, so they'll even this up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I watched a documentary about Nolan Ryan, and they were talking about that too. And some of the older players would tell the younger players, "Don't go cocky, because he'll hit you."
Ball hit high, shallow center,
and that wind's going to catch it.
Adcock makes the play. Hey, great job, because that, like you said, that wind was making it dance.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look. You can't see. Yeah, you can. If you look out there, you see the American flag. It's straight coming out of the south, and it's a straight line wind out in that direction. So when that ball was hit, we watched it, and I know Jaron saw it. It was doing a little dance up there.
Grooving. So 1 out here.
Connor Smith had a sacrifice bunt back in the second, and he grounded out back in the fourth.
Not a bad pitch at all.
And I think a lot of fans wanted that as a strike.
May have been a little outside. I'm not sure. Again, hard to tell here. The 1-0.
Well, and I'm going to tell you right now, not just the players get tired as the game goes on. The what do they call? Blue gets a little tired as the game goes on.
The 2-0.
And a good hit straight into center field. It's going to be, doesn't really have to go anywhere as Adcock, as he kind of dances around in a circle, waiting for that ball.
Yeah. Golly, that wind is doing a number.
Waiting for that ball to figure out where it's going. And that's the hardest thing to do as an outfielder. I was an outfielder. And so, you know, you watch the ball and you take that backward motion and then you try to adjust to where you're going to go. And that's just hard when the wind's blowing. Graves is has a 1-2 in the ball game, fly out and a base hit.
Ball hit up the middle.
Oh!
Barry snags it, makes the play.
And once again, 3 up, 3 down. Go the Tigers.
All right, well, we'll be right back here for the bottom of the 7th here on NETSN. Top of the 7th, not the bottom. Top of the 7th, sorry.
Yeah, we got to, barring anything crazy, we have our final inning here.
Jackson Prince will look to get things started off here.
Prince has got a strikeout and a base hit. And a fly out.
All right, so here we go. Again, Prince at the plate for the Eagles, looking to start things off. Cash still on the mound. Came in for relief on the last inning.
And that had a little heat on it. You heard the pop.
Had the pop on the outside corner there, so called strike. Thanks for being patient as we kind of got the internet issues fixed. And shout out to Brett Sweeney, our
guru of all,
for,
who puts up with us.
Yeah.
It's going to be bounced about a foot in front of the base.
Ball in the dirt. So ball one. And so.
Now, just a reminder, on Friday we will be barring a monsoon
weather event.
We'll be in Tatum for the second game of this matchup.
And that'll be your first trip to Eagle Park. I love
Yes.
the setup there, man. I love how we can set our cameras up. It's just again, I know when you watch our broadcast, you get used to seeing certain angles and things, and so, but depending where you're at, don't always get the same one. So,
and I put things in different. I put cameras in different angles.
Yeah,
so y'all see something different.
See something different, yeah. So the 1-2 ball hit.
That's going to be in left center field.
They make the catch.
Barton's going to head over and make that catch. That one danced around too, but he was backed up by Pierce for out number 1. Barry back. He reached on an error back in the first and then really hasn't done much since. He struck out and grounded out last 2 at-bats.
Ball's in the dirt and it gets the official that woke him up a little bit.
Or ticked him off, whichever one.
Fair enough.
We hope the first one.
1 ball, no strikes here to Barry.
Here's the pitch.
Good cut there, fouls it away. One ball, one string.
And in true Barry fashion, calls for time, steps out of the box.
1 out here. It's a shot down third base. They scoop it. One hopper gets past the first baseman, so Barry will reach safely on that one.
And Can I call that one?
Yeah, that was an error. Yeah, that was an error.
Well, you got on to me last time. I wanted to call an error.
Yeah, that was an error.
That was an
Because I think
E3.
because I think a one hop,
Yeah.
Is still catchable. Catchable. So we'll have a Kershey runner coming
Well,
in.
and
for
it
Barry.
wasn't a dig out. That was actually a catchable.
With Aldo Espinosa's who's going to be into a Kershey run for Barry
Cody Hines.
at the plate.
Good hit out in the left field. Beautiful little line drive.
Man, that had a cool little oppo tail on it, didn't it?
Sure did. A little more, kind of a, the more you know kind of little ring star curve there.
All right, so Bull's going to step up with two guys on. So he's got two guys on the base pads with one out.
So he's had a ground out, hit by a pitch, and a base hit. His 3 at bats. Taking a long time is Hardy.
Ball's
and
in the
that's gonna
dirt.
bounce in the dirt.
So both guys going. So two guys in scoring position now for the Eagles.
Only one away. They're going to walk him, get an intentional walk.
Try to load it up.
Well, and that's a smart move.
It's going to bring up Henny.
He's going to ground out a walk, and he reached on an error. His last at bat.
So bases juiced, as they say, with just one out.
Any bag, any bag, any bag. This is where your outfielder should be yelling, any bag.
Any bag, any bag.
Here's a pitch.
A little blooper.
Yeah.
Infield fly. So
Yeah, I was going to say.
They
They didn't really call it, did
well,
they?
he did.
Oh, okay.
He ended up making
I didn't
it.
see.
Yeah, it was a little slow. But
okay.
yeah,
I was
did
looking
make
at usually
Yeah, but I guess maybe because it was closer to the
guess
home plate
so.
umpire. But yeah, he called it infield fly.
Yeah, I was looking at the infield umpire to make that call. He kind of just didn't make it.
So Tucker Anthony now at the plate.
Anthony had a pretty good night so far. Base hit, RBI single, and a walk.
Called strike.
He's been on base every time. So the base is loaded. 2 outs. 0-1 for Anthony.
Off-speed pitch stays high, and so called ball.
Childress tried to frame it, bring it back down into strike territory, but Mr. Umpire was not fooled on that one.
Didn't oblige, did he? The 1-1. Fouled away behind this.
Heads up moment. I used to do announcing for games, and when we had I worked at White House, and I did announcing, and the parking lot was behind the stadium, like this, and so I would say a broken window when that would happen. They didn't think that was funny. I actually had a sound effect of a broken glass, and I would play that. I thought it was hilarious.
The 1-2.
Good hit. It's going to be straight out center field. And Barton just has to take about 3 or 4 steps to the right and back for out number 3.
So they will strand 3, but they held a 4-run lead, the Eagles do, and so they'll look to hold the Tigers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be back here on NETSN.
Oh, sorry.
Got you on it. Gotcha.
And I'm the one that pushed the button.
All right, so look, the Eagles here look to hold their lead.
And the Tigers going to try to get a miracle going here. Barry's still on the mound.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Barry.
Yeah, Barry's going to try to end it up. He's gone 3 up, 3 down the last 2 innings.
That'll help you stretch it, won't it?
Yeah.
Hayden Hummel.
But the Tigers are back at the top of the inning, or top of the lineup, excuse me. So Hayden Hummel, who's flown out, struck out, and had a base hit his last at bat. So we'll see what happens. A little bit of English on that.
Tried to get him to chase. He didn't oblige, so ball one.
Yeah, he wanted him to go fishing on that one. And that's a big hit down the left field line. That's going to stay fair. And home run.
So that is a home run for Hayden Hummel. So 1 run to decrease that lead here.
Yeah, and I actually thought the wind might carry that one foul, but that one just kept on going. And the wind kind of helped because it died down a little bit as it went. So the Tigers, with 1 swing, pull within 3.
12, Cash Hardy.
And Cash Hardy coming up. He's got a double, a walk, and an RBI single this game so far.
So good night for him from the plate. Hits that one out of play, foul ball.
Hits that one to the trees.
Yeah. Wonder how many balls are.
I don't know
there.
if somebody ever goes out there with a bucket. I bet you they send their team out there, or somebody.
A little elevated bunt there.
And a diving
What
catch.
a play for Tucker Anthony.
Loses his hat. That hurt me. Of course, I got a stomach on me, so I would be in traction for days. But a great play.
Number 8, Caden Gray.
As Tucker Anthony lays out, looked a little bit of a Pete Rose-ish when he dove for that, didn't he?
Had a look to it, didn't it? Called strike. Good pitch.
So a good little return, comeback return, I guess, after the home run to get that fly out.
So 1 out, nobody on.
And a good pitch. Back-to-back strikes for Barry, as his confidence may have returned.
A little swag back to him, doesn't he? The 0-2.
That had some
Bullet, man. So foul off.
a little oomph to it. Came back. One out, 2 strikes. 5-2 is your score here in the bottom of the 7th.
That one's fouled.
Stays alive. Tigers have to get 3 runs to extend the game.
So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Bottom of the 7th.
And Barry is going to try to put a stop to that.
So again, as we said, these 2 teams will meet again on Friday. And we hope to plan to broadcast that one for you. Again, weather pending.
Down to first base, little dribbler, and luckily Barry covers as Cannon Smith kind of struggled picking that ball up. But luckily he stayed with it, did a good job of concentrating and getting that over to Barry.
Davenport.
All right, so got 2 outs here. So the Eagles are 1 out away from staying undefeated in district play here. Low outside ball 1.
Davenport has walked, struck out, and ground out in this ball game.
Gold.
That hit the outside on that, didn't it? That was a good one.
So here we go. No balls, 2 strikes. That one's fouled away. Just left of the Third baseline.
One and two the count. Eagles 1 out away from ending the ball game.
1 strike away, too.
Hit into left field. Hannigan back and
Just gets
over
over
his
him,
head.
so
Yep, over his head to the wall. So we will continue.
Double for the Tigers. And now bring up number 15.
And I think the wind got that one on him.
Yeah. So it's
Now
definitely
batting number 15, Logan Lucky.
moving the ball. So Logan Lucky stepping up.
Logan Lockie has struck out twice in fielder's choice one time. So Barry has had luck with him. Two of his 4 strikeouts have been against Lucky tonight. A little bit low.
So ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Nope, that's over us.
Not going to lie, I was a little nervous on that one,
Yeah,
Keith.
that looked like it was coming, but I saw it.
I was a little nervous.
If I start running, that's when you do. Because let me tell you something, I don't run anything but a fever in my mouth. So if I start running for something, that means you run.
All right, so 1 ball, 1 strike here.
Lockie trying to keep it alive for the Tigers. Runner in scoring position. It's going to be out into left field. That one's deep. Left field over the wall. Home run.
So 2-run home run.
Puts him within 1.
You know, every home run tonight's been in that left field, or that tall part of the fence.
Well, you got to think, though, that's how the wind is catching. I mean, it was a good hit, but and they're going to keep Barry in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Now batting number 1.
He's throwing strikes, right? And so now you got clear base pads.
Yeah.
Right? And so you still got your 1-run lead, 2 outs. So, I like that idea.
Prince went out and talked to him a little bit.
Just one away. Right?
Base hit, ground out, and a fly out.
Joey Mathis is really enjoying the stream tonight. Well, we appreciate it. It's not our best work, just with some various things, but we'll always try to improve. Here we go.
That's in
Good
there.
pitch.
Whew, good one.
The 0-1. Ball hit into left center.
And that one's over the wall, too, and it's tied up.
Home run, tied up. Wow.
And now they're 1 run away from the win.
They may.
And now they're going to bring out and probably switch out
We
the
may see a change
pitchers.
here. So
Yeah.
Coach Russell coming to the mound. We'll see. So, hey, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
All right, here we go. Now, so Logan Kanzler now in relief for the Eagles. And so just like that, we've got a ball game here tied up. Number 7 for the Tigers will be at the plate.
Now batting number 7, James Pierce.
All right, so Kanzler in relief for the Eagles and Pierce at the plate. Ball hit way out of play. Kanzler moving quick, the 0-1. That breaking ball was pretty.
Yeah, that had a lot of movement on it. Golly.
That was one of the prettiest pitches we've seen tonight. Man, that was good. The 0-2 pitch. That one looked like it fell right in the honey hole, but no oblige from the officials. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Shot up the middle.
Dang. Up the middle.
I haven't do much about that one, so the winning run on first base for the Tigers as Connor Smith steps up to the plate. Got 2 outs here, though, in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, there's been 2 outs.
Yeah, for the last few batters.
For the last 4 batters.
Yeah. Here comes a pitch. Just misses, ball 1. So Kanzler working quick from the stretch. A man on first, 1 ball, no strings. He throws back to first.
Trying to keep the runner there.
Barry's in at first.
Don't want to give him an extra base easy.
Yep.
But you also don't want to throw a wild pitch either. Low.
A little low. I think, it looked good. It just came across right below the knee.
From where I am, it hit shin high.
Okay.
So that was a little low. It was beautiful over the plate, but it was low, about shin high.
So 2-0.
Now that one was not. That one was right above the knee. Right over the plate, right above the knee.
The spot he's trying to hit.
Not sure what he's looking what he's looking at. But
and there the guys with he's closer than we are. 3 balls, no strikes. That was a good pitch.
Breaking ball right over the plate. Beautiful movement.
So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, a man on first.
Connor Smith. He's had a sacrifice bunt, a ground out, and a fly out. And now he's got a walk. And that puts a man the winning run on second for Carter Graves.
Number 10, Carter Graves.
Connor Graves at the plate. Ball's fouled out of play. That one's fouled away, so Canceller definitely throwing with some sauce on it.
Yeah, he's got a little something. 0-2 with 2 outs, so a big pitch here. Canceller. I wouldn't pay attention to the runners. I would just throw.
Here comes the 0-2.
Fouled that one
away.
back. Staying alive. Yeah, this is one of those situations I wouldn't pay attention to the runners.
Yeah,
I would just
bearing down, get the guy at the plate, right?
Concentrate, make sure you throw.
Well, fouled away.
Got a battle going on here in Troup America. 5-5.
Yep. All tied up at 5. The 0-2. Fouled
And
away.
another
Man,
foul.
goodness gracious.
And another one.
Hey, intern Claire making her appearance on the chat says, hi, Dad.
What is up, intern Claire? It's my
Claire.
girl.
The
Taking
0-2.
a break from her studies.
That's right. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2. Not a bad 0-2
That-
pitch, really, to get him
He- yeah.
chasing, right?
Yeah,
But,
he's trying to get him fishing on that, and it was a beautiful little off-speed pitch to the outside, especially after all the pitches
Yeah.
right over that he's been swinging. So great mental play there.
The 1-2 was low in the dirt. Runner
I know.
stay put.
Good job by Prince, because that right there was scary.
Yeah, but he framed that well, went to his knees. Was a brick wall there, kept the ball in front of him, so.
And Canceller got to take a breath.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Big at bat.
They're set.
Big battle going on here in Troup. Fouled off again.
Goodness gracious.
That's like the, what, 6th or 7th?
Yeah. So what a battle here in the box and on the mound.
And a shout out to my other daughter from another mother, Emily.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Both of my daughters taking a study break, I'm sure. That one's going to be foul, or excuse me, ball.
Outside, yeah, but good snag there by Prince.
Yeah.
So full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Canceller from the stretch.
Big pitch. Oh, outside. That's high and outside. It was outside
Just
from here.
just a little outside. So ball 4.
Just a bit outside. So Hummel's up. He homered to start this inning.
It's kind of rally, yeah. So
And we're back at the top.
So 2 outs. Bases loaded.
That's going to be outside for ball 1.
And that was kind of like a cutter, and I thought it,
Yeah.
cut, a pretty good spot, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. That one had some mustard.
If I were the catcher, I'd ask him to sweep off the plate.
Yeah, it's a little dirty in it.
But that's just me. High.
fouls that one away. Man, that ball's coming in with some sauce.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and bases loaded. Winning run on third
The
for
2-2.
the Tigers. Sorry.
Ball came around chest high. And so ball 3, so that'll full us up.
So this is kind of it, one way or another.
He's working quick.
And that's the ball game.
Ball 4, and so the runner comes in, so the Tigers will win 6-5.
Yeah. On an
and-
epic comeback.
Man, yeah, it's a crazy bottom of the 7th, and so they'll score
4 runs to come back and win it.
5. They didn't put
Yeah,
the last
5,
one up
yeah.
there. 5 runs to come back and win. So, so the Eagles will have their first district loss of the season. But again, these 2 teams look to meet again on Friday, and we plan to broadcast that game. So,
And both teams played hard.
yeah, great effort by both teams, and it really is a good district game. So, again, good effort by the Tatum Eagles, and I know they'll come back ready to play on Friday. So
I wouldn't want to be Troup on Friday.
man, yeah. So yeah. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, Keith, and again, and folks, thanks so much for kind of putting up with some of our internet issues and things. But I'm glad we finally hit our stride. Thanks to Brett Sweeney back getting us set up on the internet and all that stuff. So for Jaron Peoples, Keith Whitman, thanks so much. Have a good night, folks.
Peace out.